everyone, it's Miss Jones and welcome to our art lesson for this week. So in class we're talking about the most basic element of art being line. We talked about different types of lines and you may have practiced drawing different kinds of lines. And we also talked about where we can find lines and how lines are in pretty much every part of art. It's really hard to create without starting with a line. So today I wanted to show you how to make something pretty cool, at least I think it's pretty cool, with just lines. Lines are a way we can show shape. They're also a way we can show depth. So we're going to not only create shapes, but also create some depth with just lines. So what you're going to need today is a pencil, just a regular number 2 lead pencil. I like to make sure mine is nice and sharp. You're also going to need an eraser, just in case to erase some of those lines we make. You can also use the eraser on the end of your pencil. That's totally fine with me. It works. I like having a big eraser because then I can kind of cover more space at one time. You're also going to need a straight edge, so a ruler is ideal if you have a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, find something sturdy and straight that you can use to make a line. So like edges of boxes are good because you can use them, kind of run your pencil along them and it should make a nice straight line. Oops, sorry about that. You can also use a book edge, like the binding of a book. That also works. Be creative and find something if you don't have a ruler. But what we're going to start with is you should take your pencil and the ruler, and we're going to measure out a 7-inch by 7-inch square. So it should be able to fit on your paper real nice. So use your ruler and maybe try and make it as centered as you can, but I'm gonna start at the top here. It's okay, you can always cut it out. And I'm just gonna draw one line to 7 inches right there, 0 to 7. So I'm gonna rotate my paper to create my other 3 lines to get my square. So now I have a nice, perfectly square, 7 by 7 inches. And now what we're going to do is take our finger, and we're going to use our finger as our measurer. I know we just used our ruler, but we're gonna use our finger from now on. So I'd like you to take your pointer finger, and you're going to place it up in the left-hand corner of your square. So go ahead and place your finger so that it lines up with the edge of your square right here. And you're on this top line. So when you look at it, you can kind of see the line on the side of your finger, on the other side of your finger. And we're gonna just create a little hash mark, a really light hash mark on that line next to your finger. So on our horizontal line here, you create a little hash mark. So I lift it up. There, I've got my little mark right here. Once you have that, you're going to rotate your paper to the next corner. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna use your finger as a marker. You're gonna put it next to that vertical line of your square there and mark a little hash mark next to your finger. And you're gonna do that for the other 2 corners. So rotate it again and do it for the other 2 corners. Measure your finger, use a hash mark. All right, so now you have your 4 little hash marks on your square. One should be on each side. So this one's on the top, this one's on the right side, the bottom, and the left side. Yes. So now what you want to do is you'll want to use your ruler and line up those first two hash marks. So line up the top hash mark with the right-sided hash mark so that your ruler is going through both of them. And you're going to create your line. So now you should have kind of like a triangle up here. I made that kind of light. I'll make it a little darker for you. There we go. So now you have your line between your two hash marks. Now you're going to rotate your paper and you're going to connect this now top hash mark that already has one line through it with the right-sided hash mark. So line those two up and you're going to draw your line connecting those two. And you're going to do the same thing with the other two sides. So once you've done that and connected all the hash marks, it should look like there's a second square inside your first square, right? So you have your big, large square, and now there's a smaller square that's tilted inside your original square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to measure out again with using our finger, measure out more hash marks, but this time we're going to do it on the inside square, that smaller tilted square. So put your finger next to that line that you just drew, right? So we're gonna put our finger right here, use it as our marker so it's lined up with that vertical line, and then put your hash mark on the inside line. The one that's on the inside square. And then you're gonna turn your paper and you're gonna do the same thing. So line up your finger and put that hash mark on that inner square. So now you've got 4 hash marks again. So what you're gonna do is connect those 4 hash marks. So the one on the top of that inner square, line that up with the one on the side of the inner square and draw your line. And then you're gonna turn your paper and do the same thing. Line up those 2 hash marks and draw your line. Rotate your paper and finish off those hash marks. So now you have an even smaller square inside your small square, and it should be even more tilted. So we're going to continue this process until it spirals down into the middle and we have a little tiny square. So follow along with me. I'll speed up the video so it won't take too much of your time, but we're going to continue this process of using our finger to measure and make hash marks and connecting those hash marks. All right, so after you finish, you should have a design that sort of looks like this. And what's really cool about this activity is that we only use straight lines. We've now created a curved line, a series of curved lines just by using straight lines, which is really cool. So now that you have your design all done, feel free to use those coloring materials and color it any way you'd like. So I'm gonna color mine section by section, but pick whatever colors you want, whatever design, maybe add something in the middle here. Please upload your finished one to Schoology or Seesaw. I'd love to see what you created in class or were able to finish on your own in independent art time. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you liked it.